Be ready. 5 seconds. Thank you, Honorable Chairperson, for giving me the opportunity to speak on the demands for grants of the Ministry of Road Transport and Highways. This is regarded as one of the great success stories of this government. Therefore, kudos are due to the Honorable Cabinet Minister Shri Gadkari and the Honorable Minister of State, who is present here very kindly to listen to us, General Retired Dr. V.K. Singh. Honorable Chairperson, we must, by and large, support the budgetary provisions on bipartisan basis because that is our duty to the nation. Having praised the performance of the ministry, I must say that there are certain alarm bells that ring, which I think will not have gone unnoticed in the sharp eyes of the ministers, particularly the very sharp eyes of General Singh, who is here, who has very admirably led the country's defense forces in the past. It is heartening that the ministry has actually got its due and more. The allocation this year is rupees 68,000 crore more than the revised estimate of 2021-22, which is the highest percentage increase in allocation after the Ministry of Communications, which got 93% growth. This ministry has got a 52% jump. I think the government has obviously recognized that this is one of its flagship ministries. It is one of its well-performing ministries, and therefore this ministry must be given all support. The project delays resulting in increase in project cost is again a matter of great concern. The funds released to the NHAI has almost tripled since the financial year 2016-17, while the length of roads constructed by NHAI has increased by only 63%. This is a matter of very great concern. The Standing Committee has in fact pointed out on the rising cost of construction in this country, one of the main components of which, of course, is land acquisition. We have brought in the new Land Acquisition, Rehabilitation and Resettlement Act on a bipartisan basis in this House. I feel there is a shortage of dialogue with the farmers to make them understand the importance and the vitality of these projects and what it does to their lands eventually. It raises their land value manifold. I am surprised that the farmers in this country are still hesitant to give their stretches of land for express highways. It really improves their land holding cost. Some degree of education, therefore, is necessary. This is something which we must start at the panchayat level itself. The government must start a panchayat level education program to teach the farmers about how it is in their benefit that they should not put hurdles in land acquisition for expressways and highways. The other concern I have personally remarked about it in the past is that the NHAI did not have a full-time chairman for many months. That is not something which is very good for an organization of that size. It is still working at only 61% of the sanctioned strength, with a large number of vacancies at higher levels. It is recruiting officials under deputation quota. It is continuing to do that. Every now and then we hear that hundreds and hundreds of officers are on deputation, which does not give them the requisite loyalty to the organization to work overtime to make that organization a great success. In fact, a very few direct recruitments are happening at the level of GM, which was not the case earlier. Now I come to the arbitration cases in NHAI. It is a matter of great concern, and I am personally aware of this. I am a counsel myself. The amount of claims pending under arbitration has risen to nearly 90,000 crores. When this rupees 90,000 crore is locked in arbitration, it does two things. It firstly locks up a huge amount of public money, and also it literally bankrupts concessionaires who are then locked to these arbitrations and who are not able to do further projects. So this becomes a matter of concern. I think the government must seriously look at bringing in some law for these kinds of infrastructural projects and infrastructural sectors. Perhaps there can even be a fast-track arbitration which can cut through the normal arbitration procedure that this country or this parliament has put in place. Now, the other point of great concern that the states have is the Central Road and Infrastructure Fund, which is a funding for the state governments. The allocation of state roads from the CRIF in 2022-23 is estimated at rupees 250 crore, while the RE was rupees 295 crore. So that has also come down. Although it is a paltry RE figure, even then that paltry RE figure has further been slashed, and the road projects pertaining to only 10 states/UTs have been approved under the head Scheme of States Finances from CRIF. This is very disappointing in such a large country. If NHAI and the ministry are going to have this kind of shortage of funds from the CRIF, the ministry must look at getting innovative means of financing for something like the CRIF. It can be done. If the finance ministry and the ministry concerned put their heads together, and if you give them the incentives, I am sure that there is a great and a large amount of public money that is locked away needlessly, which can easily flow into this sector. You only have to think up new ways of getting money and incentives. This is the best way. In both years of 2018-19 and 2019-20, the actual expenditure on maintenance was less than 60% of the budget estimates. This does not speak well for the situation of maintenance. I do not understand why the full amount allocated is not being spent on maintenance. This again speaks poorly for the management as well as the interface with the concessionaires that the NHAI and all these other major organizations here are looking at.